back your homes or restore your dead to life.
But perhaps I can give you justice in the name of our king.
Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about a few different topics in the Game of Thrones universe, including what took place during the Long Night 8,000 years ago, as well as how fast the Night King can create White Walkers. With that said, if you are not caught up with the series, this is your chance to save yourself from spoilers. Anyway, let's get started. Does winter and the Long Night affect Essos also, or just Westeros? I've been asking this question for years and nobody can answer it. Well, this is one of those age-old questions that can't necessarily be answered with a simple yes or no. In the books, all we are told in regards to the Long Night comes from passed down stories dating back to the Age of Heroes. To put it into perspective, when it comes to the hard facts of everything that took place, it can only be discovered by someone like Bran Stark, who has the ability to link to the past via a weirwood tree. We could see a vision in the final season from Bran that clues the audience in to exactly what occurred during that time. Also, if the series ends with many questions still unanswered about the Long Night, the new prequel series HBO is currently working on could tie up any loose ends, especially since George R.R. Martin has just revealed the name of the new show, calling it The Long Night. So the plot takes place during this era, and without a doubt it will offer much more details surrounding this legendary event. But let me try to give a few ideas that have been theorized about within the community. First, from what we've seen thus far, whites can't really swim, so traveling across a sea makes it more challenging for the dead army to get to Essos. However, we know the Night King has influence on the weather, meaning if the army finds their way to a spot with the least distance to Essos, there is a possibility the Night King could freeze over some of that water to get the job done, like the broken arm of Dorne. Now, I know what you're thinking, oceans don't just freeze over, but this isn't the real world. In a fictional land where dragons exist and magic holds an ice wall together for thousands of years, you have to believe the Night King can find his way to Essos, especially since he's flying around on an undead Viserion. Even if his followers cannot cross the narrow sea, the Night King can travel alone, and once he turns one human into a white, it will spread like a plague. That means he could essentially create a second army from the citizens of Essos. And also, the Night King isn't completely ignorant. His abilities rival that of Bran Stark, so who's to say the dead army doesn't just wipe out everyone in Westeros and ride the ships docked on the eastern side of the landmass across the narrow sea? Basically, winter could affect much more than just Westeros. I hope that answers your question. Since we are on the topic, let's answer this. I hope they explain Craster's sons. I mean, do they have a White Walker preschool? Do they grow up overnight? Who is raising them? So many questions need to be answered. I wanted to address this because fans have been wondering about the process of creating White Walkers since we watched the Night King turn the infant's eyes blue. White Walkers are much different than the typical white. We know from Craster's daughters, newborn boys are sacrificed to keep the dead from messing with their family. However, as for how long it takes a baby to turn into a fully grown White Walker, this might need to be answered in the new series. I don't know how much time is left in the final 6 episodes to go into all of it, but one thing I will say is I wouldn't be shocked if it's almost an instant transformation. If the Night King can raise a corpse that is nothing more than just a skeleton, then why couldn't he create a White Walker in a short period of time? Anyway, that's going to do it for today. I really hope you enjoyed this short conversation. As always, have a great day, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.